that's what I say. It's not what anybody else says. Excuse me, but what the thing is that we are becoming more and more divided. Not that we were already divided enough before this new administration, but now we're more divided. Just crazy division going on right now. And that is not the American Tier way. I mean, that is just the complete opposite of what's going to rip this country apart. It's going to just tear us apart because we cannot seem to grasp any kind of like understanding or acceptance of what's going on. You know, and so the thing is like a lot of people probably think it's not going to affect me. Oh no, it's like, and my good example right now is for like ICE going out there and rounding up immigrants. So anybody that's white is like, I don't care, you know, it doesn't affect me. You know, I'm white, right? So why would I have to worry about that? I was born in America. You know, I don't have to worry about that kind of stuff. And that's the problem right there. That is the problem. The problem is that a lot of Americans are thinking they're exempt from changes. It's like, it's not going to change my life. And I'm here to tell you right now, if we don't come together and unite as a country, it will affect everyone. Even you. You think that nothing's going to affect you because you're somehow privileged in certain ways that it only, you know, it's just going to affect everyone else below you. And it's not going to affect you. And I'm here to tell you that it is going to affect you. It is going to catch up with you. And you will pay a price. You will be accountable and responsible for those kind of, that way of thinking and that mindset will backfire on you. Because it's all hate. It's all negative. It's negative hate. And I only want people of my kind, people like me, to rise. And I want everybody else to fall down. And that is so unfair. That's not even America. That's like a dictatorship of sorts. That's corporate control on steroids. You know, it's like, you know, the rich one become richer, and they don't want anyone to rise to the occasion to make any money, to become rich, or even become a little rich. You know, they keep thinking like, we'll just keep pushing everybody down, and that way we can make more money. And that is just completely a wrong way of thinking about it. It's just absurd. So, you know, when I say it's not going to, when you say to me, like when you're thinking how it's not going to affect you, I'm here to tell you again, it will affect you in one way or another, in a direct way or indirect way. And for a lot of people who think it's not going to affect them, it's probably going to affect them in an indirect way. You know, they're probably not going to feel it themselves, but they'll notice that their friends or family members or people they're like long-term kind of relationships with, you know, it affects them. It will affect their job. It will affect their life. It will change things around. And when that does happen, it's an indirection of like how that's going to affect you too. Even though you think you're exempt from all of this mess that's going on right now, because we refuse to come together. You know, it's just, I hear from both sides, and it's horrible on both sides. They're just like saying stuff like demonic, hate, their fault, that fault, you know, everyone's fault, but their own fault. You know, it's like, it just keeps going around and around and around. It's a vicious circle that we've been in a long time, except this time it's growing a lot bigger, way bigger. The separation is dividing up more and more and more. I'm pushing for us to change our state of mind. And I mean, here, I want to come up with, I'm trying to think of some good examples here, and it's not, and so it keeps any kind of love from rising, and hate just keeps pushing it down. Hate. That's all I'm hearing nowadays is a lot of hate. You know, no one's talking about love. No one's talking about how we're going to make this country uh, magnificent again, or utopia in a sense. But right now, I don't see that happening. And that's sad. That's sad because I'm an American too. I'm I'm not. I don't care about those two sides of the party. I really don't care. It's not them that are in control. It's we, the people, that are in control. And except we keep not grasping that and thinking that it's not, um, we can't come together because we hate each other so much. You know, and therefore the hate keeps pushing each other away. I don't, you know, to find love is to start taking small steps, start taking small actions, you know, and to do things that are probably not feeling normal to you, especially if you're a hater and you do something that's cool, you do something that's kind of loving, you know, or understanding, or you have compassion all of a sudden, you know, and that's going to become, you know, a little awkward and maybe a little uncomfortable, but that is the best direction to go into, is with love, not with hate. And not say that we're going to build this country on hate. Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. We're just going to build on hate. We're going to build on hate. And I'm saying that is so wrong. We need to build with love. We need to love all Americans, everyone. You know, both sides. You know, that's the game that's being played on all of us Americans, and we keep falling for it over and over and over and over again. You know, that separation has always been there, and we somehow been brainwashed in an echo chamber to think like we are so right, like I am so right about this. And when you can be really, really wrong, you'll still say you're right. Even if people prove you wrong, you'll still think I'm right. And and it's an alter ego thing. It's a false pride issue. You know, to kind of like to understand that we need to start building this country on love and not on hate. And right now, there's a lot of hate going on, and I'm an American too. I want to build with love. And if you're with me and you think America can work with love and positive direction with everyone included, then we are our mindset is right. Our mindset is right. If you don't think that's going to happen, then you have an opposite mindset of building hate. And it's a reactionary hate too. I mean, if I tell someone I'm a Democrat, they're going to hate me. If I tell someone I'm a Republican, they're going to hate me. How about if I just tell you right now, I do not vote. I'm not either. I'm not registered as a voter. I don't vote for either one of those parties because it's just the same thing over and over and over again. I keep saying that, and no one's really listening to what I'm saying. It's that we're just being played against each other. That is the way the economy kind of works, and built on hate and building more hate. And that doesn't help anyone in a direct way or even in an indirect way. It doesn't help anyone at all. So yes, there's changes that got to happen. Major changes have got to change in our government system and our corporate system to help Americans. And we can do that if we come together. If we decide that we are not going to deal with this hate movement, that we want to deal with something that's a little bit more on the love side, we can start to come up with solutions and create solutions that will work for everyone. And people think that's impossible. That's impossible. But I'm the only guy standing here saying, and I say this a lot with about a bunch of different issues, is that when someone says it's impossible, I say, yeah, it's impossible until it becomes possible. You know, the impossibilities, I challenge the impossibilities become possible on a lot of different issues too. You know, and when we think about bigger things, like if we think about UFOs, we will think, that's impossible. Well, it could be possible, right? I mean, It's possible. But the impossibilities have pushed down everything that keep things from being possible. And I think that we can come together and make things possible. To change our attitude, to change our mindset, to change our heart, to change our mind, to grow.